Yo, what? You're watching Titanium Fitness. Subscribe. Do yourself a favor. Subscribe. This young man is going to whoop me real hard one of these years. So
I don't know about that.
I called it, bro. Subscribe. Titanium Fitness. Peace.
What's up, guys? Tyler Yasuda here with Tytanium Fitness. As you can see, in the past few weeks since I've been home, or past couple weeks, I've had the unique privilege of training with Alberto Nunez, who, if you guys don't know who he is, go check him out on YouTube, Google, whatever. He is one of the coaches for 3DMJ. He's a drug-free professional bodybuilder with the NGA, wnbf, and ifpa, as well as a powerlifter. So he's fairly accomplished in two sports, which is pretty unusual. Unusual in a good way, though. As you can see, for me, it was a lower B day, my deadlift day, working up to a top set of 3. I think that was a set of 465 for 4. And then Berto had a volume day. He was squatting, deadlifting, and benching all on the same day. Right here, we got a set of 510 for a triple on the way up. So it should be pretty easy. One thing I'm not completely happy with my deadlift form right now is my spine. I need to get that spine as neutral as I can. Obviously, it's a little bit hard just because of my morphology, but that's no excuse. So me and Berto were talking about a recent study done by Brad Schoenfeld and I think a few other guys. I'll put a link in the description if I can find it. But basically, the study showed that volume-equated training protocols have the same hypertrophic response in 2 groups of athletes. So basically, they had one group training with heavier weight in lower rep ranges and another group training in with moderate weights and moderately higher rep ranges, but both groups were volume equated, so weight times reps times sets was equal between the two. And what they found is that they produced the same hypertrophic response in both groups. The only main difference was that the heavier weight group obviously got a little bit stronger, a little bit quicker, and they also took a lot longer to finish their training just because they were doing more sets. And I think the takeaway from this as bodybuilders or athletes in general is that we can incorporate both rep ranges, or we should be able to incorporate both rep ranges without worrying about which one is necessarily better or worse for the sake of hypertrophy. Now here you got my top set of 544, and I'll let you guys just sort of watch how I go through my routine and my setup and all that, because that is one thing that I try to focus on quite a bit, is consistency in my setup and execution for every working set.
No pressure, young man. Those legs, nice. You're awake now, come on. Oh yeah. And best. Damn. What do we say? That felt bad.
So like I said, that was a pretty big PR for me. The last time I pulled for a triple, I pulled 535 for 3 with straps at a body weight of around 180, 181. This set was strapless, so pulling raw just like I would in a meet. And I did that at a body weight of around 170. So that's pretty good progress. Obviously my squat is still hit and miss, like I said in the past video, because of that leg injury. But luckily I'm able to deadlift just fine. My bench is also pretty good if you've seen my last few videos. And it's been really nice being able to hit PRs while I'm this lean, this close to contest, this small and deflated. And the lightest I've been really in probably the past 3 or 4 years. Here we can see I've got some back off sets at, I think this is 465 or something like that, just to fill in volume. And then afterwards, I was also working with my conventional deadlifts. Obviously, I have a bunch of accessory work after my deadlifts are done, but I was screwing around with conventionals because Berto and Johnny Candido both suggested to me that I might consider switching back to conventional for my powerlifting meet, because the way that I squat super wide, The muscular recruitment is very similar to the muscular recruitment pattern of my sumo deadlift. So going from my squat to my deadlift in a meet, fatigue might become a major factor, and fatigue wouldn't play as big of a role as if I squatted low bar, wide stance, and then pulled conventional. So that's something for me to try out. But as you'll see, my conventional pull is not only is it weaker, but biomechanically it's just not as sound, it's not as ideal. As far as my prep goes, guys, obviously my performance in the gym, with the exception of my squats, everything else has been excellent. My condition is exactly where it needs to be as far as I'm concerned. I guess the only real way for us to tell is when I actually get on stage this weekend, and I'll put up footage as soon as I can. But this will probably be the last thing that I upload before this weekend, or before the footage of my contest goes up. I'm going to try to get a little bit of vlog footage for you guys while I'm at the show too, but no promises, just because it does get pretty chaotic the day before and the day of, and obviously my main concern is being able to perform on stage, not necessarily making YouTube videos when I'm competing. So Alberto was saying that when he benches, he doesn't exaggerate his arch too much for two reasons. One is because as a bodybuilder, you do want a full range of motion, or as full as you can get, and also as a powerlifter, or just for the sake of moving more weight, too much of an arch can actually put you in a less stable position.
I know, that means Bruno only gets a post once a year.
Yeah. He's gonna come back in the summer, that's why I asked him. He's like, not here.
So here from this angle, you can see how conventional deadlifts just don't look right when I do them. Obviously my form could be better, but the main issue is that my femurs are so long in proportion to everything else that my hips get really high and really far away from the bar. And it's just really poor leverages for me, so I think I'm going to try to stick with sumo as best I can. Then here we got Berto doing some conventional deadlifts. Obviously this is a pretty light weight for him, so it should be pretty easy, but just notice his form. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. Neutral spine, hips close. He's synchronizing his knee extension and hip extension as well as he possibly could. And check it out. From the hip all the way through his neck, completely neutral spine. That's about as neutral as you can ever get, guys. So like I said, Berto is an absolute technician when it comes to form, and I really do admire him for that. Not only for that, but I guess for his accomplishments in bodybuilding, powerlifting, coaching, just all around. He's one of the many people I look up to and I aspire to be like when I'm older.
An arm is what I don't have, so we hit extra arms. Subscribe, Titanium Fitness.
Subscribe, Tytanium Fitness.